So today I want us to build together a fun HiHat synthesizer setup in the grid. So instead of using the HiHat device, which is also quite good actually, you can just load this setup and have something that you created. As always, I added also the ideas from this video to the PDF of tips and tricks I keep on updating. It's available on my Patreon together with the project file from this video and from many other videos. So this HiHat setup will have two layers. The first one will be a noise layer, but we will do something a bit more interesting than just using white noise. So let's start from the end of the chain actually. That will be a snappy attack decay envelope, right? Already connect this to the output. Hi-hats, just like many other percussive sounds, will not have any sustain, so attack decay will be more than enough. And as you can see here, I have already a Euclidean rhythm or Euclidean pattern going, so if I hit play, you can see the envelope is being triggered. So now for the noise layer, we will use two sine oscillators, 1 and 2, and we will cross-modulate their frequency, creating a noisy sound. So if I zoom in a bit, one oscillator will go to the pitch input of the other, and now I want to create a feedback loop. If I just connect this to the other oscillator, it will not be connected. So for this, we need to use the long delay. Just set it to the shortest delay time, send the oscillator to it, and then now we can connect this also to the pitch input of the first oscillator, and the first oscillator will be the one that we will listen to, so it will go to the envelope. Right, so now we can start shaping this layer. First of all, let's create a nice snappy envelope. Right, and now let's start adding some FM. Also to the other one, again we have it in feedback. Already we have something interesting. Let's take the pitch up a bit. Right? And also add some fold. We can even add stereo width by detuning one of the oscillators. Right, so we have an interesting noise layer, and this is, by the way, how it will sound like with white noise, right? Also the white noise, we can activate the stereo width here. Right, so this is now just white noise. Right, also nice, but we have something a bit more hours, let's say, that we created ourselves. And of course, you can fine-tune things and create all sorts of different noisy layers. Now, I would like to have another way for shaping this layer, for shaping the sound, and we will do this with a filter. We will use a bandpass filter. In my case, I will use the XP filter. Right, set this to bandpass 2, right, or 2 poles. No need for pitch tracking, a bit more resonance, so a resonant bandpass filter. Right, and now we can shape the sound even more. And we have the first layer set up. Now let's add the second layer, the metallic layer. And this we will do with 4 pulse oscillators, right? So let's say 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. You can use more, of course, to get different results, but the idea here is to mix them and detune them and then get something a bit more metallic sounding. So first of all, let's mix them with the mixer, right? So let's put this here for a second. Right, so let's say 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the 4 pulse oscillators, just in case, because I'm mixing here 4 oscillators, I'm also going to attenuate this a bit with the attenuate module here. Right, maybe something like this, so it's just not too loud. And now we will blend this together with the noise layer. Right, so again, under mix, we have the blend module. Right, the first channel will be the noise, the second channel will be the metallic. So all the way left, we have just noise, and all the way right, we have just the metallic, and everything in between, we can blend between them. Right, and now let's work on the sound. Again, for now, we have just pulse waves, but let's start detuning them. Right, and this will create something a bit more metallic. right? Add sync maybe. Very nice. Change the pulse width. Again, you can, something like this. You can fine tune this, but right, but now we have a bit more of a metallic sound. Also here, of course, I would like to have a bandpass filter, so I will just duplicate what I have here. Right, and this will go to the metallic layer here. Right, again, some resonance. And then you can control where you want the sound to be. Right, and now again we can blend between the two layers. So again, all the way left we have noise. Right, and we can blend between them. And create all sorts of different types of hi-hats. Right, something like this. Now, another thing we can do is we can add dedicated envelopes for each layer, right? So again, this will be an attack decay envelope, one for the noise, again, quite snappy, and another one for the metallic layer, right? And now we can have different envelopes for each of the sounds, right? So for example, if I add here some attack, right? Let's say that I want the noise to have more of an attack, right, and create a sound like this, right, or something like this, let's say. Right, so now I have another way of controlling the different layers. And now what I would like to do is to add also velocity. So we can use also velocity to control the sound. Now for this we will need two more modules. The first one will be the velocity input. Right, this will send the velocity information into the grid. And for using this, we can use the modulator out. So we can use the velocity to modulate various things. And in this case, what I will do is I will use another filter just before the end envelope here. In this case, it will be a low pass filter. Right, again, no need for key tracking. In this case, no need for resonance. And then with the velocity, first of all, we can control the input gain. Right, so we can use this to have some velocity variation. But also I want that softer notes will be darker, louder notes will be brighter, so we can use this also to control the cutoff of the filter. Right, so now we have also velocity control, of course, on this sequencer, the note repeats device. On the Euclidean sequencer, we have also velocity variation. Right, so again, this will add variation in amplitude, but also in brightness. Right, so this is the basic setup. Let me show you the setup that I have here ready. Right, this is the more or less, right, the same modules, the same setup that I have before. But now I don't even have to go into the grid here. If I hit play on this, right, I have everything here set up for me with the different macro controls, and also some, I can add some variation with sequencers. Right, so I have here the blend, I can blend between the sounds. Right, if I go just to the metallic one, for example, I can add attack. Right, decay, change the cutoff. In this case, I added also pitch variation, so you can also change the timbre with this one. Right, and create all sorts of metallic sounds. Then for the noise, again, we have attack, decay, cutoff. We have also for decay for the main control. In this case, I'm modulating it with a sequencer, a 5-step sequence. If you want to use, for example, this will go already to the decay of the metallic sound. Right, let's say that I want to use this. right? I take the decay all the way down, and then I can add here some variation. Right, so now again we have right, we have a bit more variation in the sound. So again, like this, you can change the sequencers. They are already mapped. You can change, you can randomize them, change the length, and then add negative or positive modulation, right? So everything is here set up for you. You don't even have to go in the grid. You can just change things from the modulators here, from the macro controls. And I hope you can see that this setup can be quite fun. I'm going to add a few more voices to this for context. Again, consider joining us on Patreon and Discord. Thank you for watching. Cheers.